today I'm going to show you how I took this wall from this to this in this video. Let's go. Alright guys, before we get started with any kind of cutting of wood or anything, you have to plan out the measurements for the picture frame molding blocks. And so what I did was I took the measure of the wall all the way across the wall, and it's 134 inches. And then I took the height of the wall from the bottom of the wall all the way to the top. Now when I say from the bottom of the wall, I went from this, because they have some molding frames right here. So I went from here all the way up to the wall where the corner is right here, okay? So that's what you need to know for that. And that was 92 inches, okay? So then I realized, okay, how much space do I want it from the bottom of the wall, from that corner where I showed you, all the way to the first molding? And I thought 4 inches seemed the right measurement. So I'm using 4 inches from the wall in, the top of the wall, that crease of the wall in, and on all sides. And I thought, how much do I want in between each of the blocks? And I thought, I'm just gonna keep everything simple and go 4, 4, 4 everywhere, okay? Between all the blocks and from those. I took my 134 inches, the full length of the wall, and I subtracted how many spaces I have between each block. So I have from this wall 4 inches, that's 4, 8, 12, 16, and I subtracted that from the 134, and it gives me 118 inches. That means the space in between here, here, and here should add up to be 118 inches. Okay, so I want them to be equal. So I said, if this one's gonna be 36 inches, I'm gonna make this one 36 inches from this wall is 4 inches, and then out will be 36 inches on this side as well. Now this is what I did to see how much, if I wanted to divide everything in 3, what would the spacing be? And I thought, my TV is 37 inches wide, so I don't want it to be that short. So I have to take and make my center box larger than my 2 outer boxes, because I'm making the 2 outer boxes 36 inches wide. And then I took 118 minus that 72 inches, and that leaves me for my center block is gonna be 46 inches. And so there you have it. So now the cutting wood, each of these will be 36 inches, and my center blocks going across the wall will all be 46 inches in the middle. Now the same with the top to the bottom. What I did was I took the 92 inches, the height of the wall, and I did 60%, like a 60-40 measurement. And I took the measure of the wall first with the spacing from the wall. So 92 inches minus 12 inches, 4, 8, 12. Subtracted that left me with the area I need to make sure I have considered 80 inches. So that the space here from here, the space here from here should be measured total 80 inches together. So what I did is I took 60-40 measure. And so I did 80%, 60% of 80, 48 inches, and then 40% of 80 would be 32 inches. So that's what I decided to make the height of the first top row. For all of them will be 48 inches, and then the second one will all be 32 inches. Now I know this is math, and I hope it wasn't boring, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can decide. It's very important to decide how you want your blocks to be before you start cutting wood, and just take into any consideration any wall plugs or any door stops like I had as well. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and mark the wall with the various spacings so that I can make sure to align the wood that I'm going to cut and start them off correctly so we can apply the wood. But first, I'm going to be using this level. I purchased this level from Amazon. You can probably find this at your local hardware store, but this one is 48 inches long. This is by Craftsman. As you can see, it's a 1-beam level. So it has a ruler on the side, but it also has levels at in there, the middle, and over here. Now, if you're going to measure your wall horizontally and vertically, you can turn that dial. I'll show you the measures to the angle of what you're trying to measure, which I think this is very cool for this. So one thing for leveling, you just want to make sure that, let me go ahead and put this on the wall so I can show you. The importance of a level is keeping your picture frame molding looking symmetrically straight. Is you want to make sure that that bubble is in the center of this black dark lines, and that will let you know that your molding is straight. Okay. All right guys, so I didn't want to bore you with all of the measures and everything, but I have literally duplicated my diagram on the wall here. I did also add one that's going to go here, up the wall here, and going to cut into the wall at a 90-degree angle, because I just thought that little space blank there is just odd to me. So I went ahead and drew all of my angles, as you see here, 4 inches in between all those. And here's my center one where my TV is going to be, electric fireplace there. And then, as you can see, they're nicely drawn and ready to go. So all I do is use this as a blueprint for when I'm cutting my wood, to make sure that everything is going to, the wood is just going to lay right on that line, because I've already started to level everything off, so I know exactly where everything is going to sit. And as you can see, I had a socket here, but my wood is not going to even be an issue for that, because you see I still have plenty of space between here for the wood and the socket. And then my little doorstop here, as you can see, I'm going to take one piece of wood from here to here, and then I'm going to take the other half and kind of have that be there, and take the other half from here to here. So that's where the obstruction of the doorstop is, so that's what I have to do for there. That's all right guys, so it's time to cut the wood, and I purchased this miter box. This is also from Craftsman as well. I purchased this off of Amazon, and it's really a really great tool to have and use. It comes with a saw already, and it has these little stoppers here that can hold down your wood in place once you slide the wood in this area. And it has labeled all of the areas that you need. So this is the 45 degree, here is your 90-degree angle, and these are other measures as well on it right here. So we're going to be paying more attention to the 45-degree angles, because that's what we're going to make the picture frame type look on the wall. So we want to be using these 45-degree angled sides of the miter box. Okay, now I will put this product, all the products I use that I got from Amazon, I will put in the description of this video, but you probably can find this as well at your local hardware store as well. Now if you want to, they do have, if you have C clamps, you can clamp it to a table as well, on this side and this side, so it doesn't rock. But what I normally do is hold it here, and then with my other hand obviously, and then I cut, and the wood just cuts easily. Okay, so this is how you use the miter box. Okay, so I made my first cut with the miter box. It's just nice and smooth, and now I have to measure here from the tip, the highest peak. So you don't want to use measure from here, you want to measure from the highest peak, and that's going to be your true measure. So you can take your measuring tape and put it along that tip there, drag it to your desired measure. Mine is 46 inches. And then you're gonna mark right here at the very end, because remember, we're gonna be cutting this way. So you want your highest peak to be where you're gonna be cutting at that angle to match the other side, okay? So we're all good and set to cut this. Also, I wanted to make you aware, make sure you're cutting towards the right way, because this fat part should always be on the outside, and these should always be on the inside. Let me turn another angle here so you can see what I'm saying. Like with a picture frame, you see you have the outside, this is the fat part, and then it's delving deep into the center here. So make sure this fat part is always on the outside, all the way around each of your blocks. Okay, and now you've already measured out your 46 inches. We need to make sure that it's cut at this angle. So I'm moving my miter box to another 45-degree angle on the miter box. I'm sliding my piece of wood to that dot so that when I put my saw through here, that it's gonna cut on directly onto that dot. Now I wanna save this wood because I don't wanna, just waste wood. So from my center measurements, it's only 3 feet 10 inches. So that means it's less than 4 feet. So that means I can use the second half of the wood to do another side. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna duplicate the one I just did. But to do that quickly, I took the miter box and I cut this angle here to be opposite the one I just did. And then I'm gonna go down here and gonna mark my 46 inches here. And then I'm gonna use the miter box to cut this angle this way. So that means I have 2 pieces out of 1 piece of that 8-foot wood. All right, so what I'm gonna do is continue cutting all my wood to finish them up so I won't bore you to death, and then we'll start applying them to the wall. All right guys, so I used this Kills 2 all-purpose interior and exterior primer, some multi-surface sealer and stain blocker to get all of my moldings ready to be nailed and sealed onto the wall with the liquid nails. I put on 2 coats. Depends on what type of wood you're using. My wood was a natural wood, so I wanted to tone down that natural wood color. So good stuff. I love it. I've used it on another project as well. It just does the job for me. So let's get these on the wall. So to apply your molding to the wall, you can just use a nail gun. It's up to you. But I'm applying the nail gun and liquid nails as well. I did purchase this one off of Amazon. I'll put this in the description of the video just in case you want to purchase it as well. This is a simple, straightforward, battery powered, which I love too because I didn't want to use the air compressor and all that. So this is battery powered. So all you do is power it up and charge in about an hour, so it was really quick. It came partially charged as is, so that was good as well. But I'll show you how to apply the nails because that was a pickle for me to figure out. It took me a while, so I don't want you to go through that. But what comes in the box is the actual nailer, as you see here. It takes staples as well as nails, so you can use this as a staple gun as well, which I thought was awesome. And it's very affordable. I looked on various hardware stores in my local area. It was just too ridiculous for the projects that I do. So I just wanted something that was simple, easy. I could plug in, get my job done, and be over with it. Be done with it. So here's the battery, simple battery. You slide this right under the whole unit. Here it comes with a charger and plenty of staples as well as nails already come in the pack. So you don't have to go out and buy them yourself. I mean, this is enough. This will last me for a really long time. I'm really using this mostly for my molding projects. So this is gonna last me for a while. So I'm gonna go ahead on and I'll plug it in and show you how to apply the nails. All right, so here are the nails that come in the box. Here's a row of nails right here. Now, I recommend just not putting on the battery yet, but this one is so safe. I mean, you really have to press in this tip right here into whatever you're trying to nail before it will even trigger, go off. So, this is very, very safe. Now, to get these nails in, they have this section here on the back of the unit. You squeeze these 2 together. See, that slides it right on out, okay? Squeeze them together and pull, and this is your area. Now for staples, if you put in a stapler when you were in school, you just slide it in and that's fine. Now for the nails, they have a little gap here. You'll see this little gap back here that lets you know which side to put it on your right side, okay? So you pop them in there and you wanna put the nail up because obviously when you press this is gonna go into the wall. So you wanna go ahead and make sure your nails are facing up, but letting you know, even if you did put it down like that, the nailer would not close. You go ahead and do that with one hand. There we go. All right, so then you have your nailer all ready to go. Now we're gonna put the battery in here. And I should have still enough juice from the last time I used it, so I don't think I need to charge it. So I'm gonna slide this in here and then we'll be ready to get applying these moldings. Pretty nice. Handy dandy tool. All right, so the two things I need, well, three things I need right now is my liquid nails Fuse It. I'm using this all surface, bonds almost everything. This did really well in the last molding I did in the bedroom. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this again. And it's really cool because you can just, seal it up and you can use it again over and over again. So I put it back in my little 10-ounce smooth rod caulk gun here. And I just cut off the tip. Once you unscrew this, you can cut off the tip to where you want it, then screw this back on, open the tip, and you see we're good and ready to go there. And then I have my nail gun ready to go. And I also have a rag. As you can see, I had some from the previous project, just so when you're stopping it, you release your rod. Make sure you release your rod so you're not wasting, product. So let's get started. Measurements down here to make sure I'm putting the right one where it's supposed to go, but also I'm laying them out, making sure I'm putting the right side on the stapling and getting it in position at the right side of measure, because the 36 and the 32 are very close when you're looking back, but I made sure to line it up. So this is how it's gonna go on this bottom portion here where the lines are already measured out and ready to go. And so I should be safe to get started. So we just want to make sure that the corners kiss each other as much as they possibly can, like that. And then we're going to use wood filler to get in the creases if there's a crease after we finish. And that will be so, you won't even be able to tell. Okay, so I put a strip of liquid nails on here, and you just want a thin strip because this is you're gonna also use nails, so it's gonna glue to the wall really, really well. So you just wanna kiss the corner of that one. I have already made my lines with my level, so I know that this is gonna be the correct line. Now, if you haven't, just use your level as you do this to place this, and then go back behind it with your nail gun. This project is really good done with another person because one person can hold that in and you can hold the other end. Just letting the liquid nails settle in just for a few seconds. I say hold it for about a minute. And as you can see, it's sealing in really well. And then what I'm gonna do is go back with the nail gun here at this time. Now, with this nail gun, like I stated, it's very safety proof. Because if you don't put that tip right there and press it in all the way, it's not going to have a nail come out of it. So if I don't press this in properly, it's not gonna nail into the wall. So I have done that one because I compressed it all the way in the wall. And what I've been doing is I've been taking my hammer, but they have a tool that you can use to punch it deeper into the wall. But I've been using my hammer and it's been working fine. But if you find that tool, you can go ahead and use that as well. But I have been making sure these go in deeper with my hammer. And if you have some obstruction to a wall, don't worry about it. You can still go with the same formation about what you're doing. You just stop it where the obstruction is and have it blend in as if the molding, the boxes, were going through the wall. So that is what that's doing as well. I'm gonna go ahead and use my wood filler here to fill in these little gaps you see here. This is really important to take the time to do it. I know you're like, oh gosh, I just nailed all these up, now I have to do this. Yes, it's very important. Some people use caulk. I like to use wood filler because this starts out pink, and then when it's ready to paint, it turns a tan brownish color like you see here. So I just use my finger and get it out of there, just like that. And then I just go right to the area that I want to fill, and I just roll it right over the crease there. You don't even have to be, you don't have to have a brush and all that. I use my hand because I can feel where the crease is, and I just rub it right in there, just like that. And then, you clean it up as much as you want. And then it's going to turn brown when it's time for you to go ahead and you can paint it. I'm using this one, says Alex Flex. This is for paint projects. You can find this at your local hardware store, maybe even Amazon might have it. But this is good for crown molding, as you see. They say for this one, you can start painting in 30 minutes, won't shine through paint, waterproof seal, easy water cleanup, low odor. It actually has no odor to me. And this one is for interior and exterior, and it will dry hard. When you're squeezing the product out, it sometimes can squeeze a lot in some areas, but I wet a rag like this. This has paint on it from another project, but I wet it, and then I take my caulking and put it in the seam, and then I follow behind the tube with the damp cloth. And it seals it in, it pushes it even more into the depths of the crack, and then it comes off really, really nice and even in the seams. I'll show you what that looks like after I do this one. Okay, let me give you the before and after. So here's the before, and here is the after. Look at that, you see? Seamless. Now I'm gonna use Kills to go ahead and prime all of my molding where I did do the wood filler, to make sure it's even coated. And then I'm gonna go over this with just this Valspar signature interior paint. It's just ultra white. I did see that this actually matches what's already on the wall, so I don't have to paint the entire wall. But I love my Kills because it seals in everything, as I showed you before. I painted all of these before, but this time this is going to be to cover up those nail gaps in the nails and things like that that we punched into each prime the molding, and then I'm gonna finish with this. All right guys, and there you have it. The wall is complete. I added my electric fireplace to the bottom there and put up a mount to mount the TV. And I just added a little color with the reefs on either side. So this is how this side of the wall is going to look. Can you imagine sitting on your couch and looking at the view and just admiring that beautiful fireplace? Well, I hope this helped you to understand more about picture frame molding. If you stay tuned for a little bit, I'll show you the bedroom, which I also did with picture frame molding, and some of the other items I purchased off of Amazon that you might be interested in as well. All right, so here is the bedroom. I did picture frame molding, as you can see, on these walls as well. I used a beautiful taupe color that I purchased from Valspar paint as well. Use that paint as well, and I got that from my local hardware store. So I just love the way it gives off that vintage look, but the picture frame molding works so well with the painting in the center, and then the comforter color, I matched it well. So I'll show you what I got as well. I did purchase these off of Amazon. They're nice bedside table, very simple to install, easy to install. As you can see, the height of them from the bed, and you can put your keys or a book or a glass of water or so on the side of your bed, and it's not very bulky and intrusive. I really like that. So I purchased a set of 2. They come in a set of 2 on Amazon, and I think they just take the space to another level, and it keeps it very slender and sleek and classic. So I just love that. And then here are the lights I purchased. I'll give you a little closer up look. As you can see, this one has the gold trim. They do have the ones that are black. I wanted the gold to pop off of this color here that's with the picture frame molding. Now the lights were so easy to install. Again, they come in a pair, in a set of 2, and they come with a remote control here. And they each come with a box, their own box, each come with their own remote control. And what I love about these is the bulb is an LED rechargeable bulb. So all you have to do is unscrew your bulb. The bulbs all look like this, and you unscrew it, and then you plug in the USB connector, and then you can put it in a USB connector outlet, which I do have on the side of this bed here, and you can charge it. Takes about, I say about a couple hours to charge it fully. but it lasts so long. As you can see, it's 4 to 12 watt, 10 to 30 hours. All right, so if you want to use just this side of the bed, say it's on your side of the bed, you just press on it here and your light will come on. And you can turn that light off with the red button there. Also, it has a warm light. These are the W means warm light. So I'll show you what that looks like here. That's what is already on, the warm light. And then they have cool, if you're into the bluish, you know, lighter tone of light. And then they have cool and warm mixed. So, but I always put it on warm. I just like the warm tone. And then you can also bring it up. You can bring it down to a more dimmer light with the remote. It's up to you. And then turn it right on off and have a good night's rest. But I love these lights. They're so easy to put together, and it just saves on bulbs. I mean, you can just plug it in and charge it, and it lasts that long. I think that's such a great technology to have.